Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Joe Libeu, and I've been doing a lot of tying of parachutes lately for mayflies. And I've come across a different way of putting the post on, and I just kind of wanted to share that with you. I'm going to start off with, this is what the pattern is going to end up looking like. And it's kind of a Batis pattern. And you can see the wing is swept back on it, it's been addressed and whatnot. Now, when I'm tying this, I'm going to go over the advantages of using this method, and we can discuss them, and I'll let you know about them. The first thing I want to talk about is the materials. The kind of materials I use for the wing are a sparkle yarn and a parapost, and they're both by Hairline, and this seems to work well for me. Now when I'm using the materials, what I want to do is select the material for the total size of the post that I want. Once I've determined that, I'm going to take and split this in half. So now I have just half of it, and I want it to be roughly 3 inches long. And the first thing I want to do is I want to cut this off so it's straight. So now that I have it relatively straight, I'm going to put it between my thumb and index finger, and I'm going to set it right on top of the shank of the hook. And it needs to be right on top so that when I tie this down, that it's going to run that way. And I'm going to put on about 3 really good hard wraps on it. So now that I have it there, I'm just going to pull it straight up in the air, and I'm going to sit there and twist it. And what I'm doing is that this is eventually going to end up being twisted extremely tight, and it's going to want to fold back on itself. You can see it starting to fold back on itself. Once I reach that point, I'm going to take and bring it back down so it twists together right there. Take this and put it right on top of the shank again, tie it down, and I'm just going to clip off the balance there, take a couple more wraps. Now this is the position I want my post. Now the next step, what I have to do is make sure that I have a flattened thread, because I want to wind it around up to about 1/8 of an inch so that the hackle can have a nice smooth area to wrap on. So now that this is unwound on me, I'm going to go up and just post this. Once you get a few wraps going, it kind of takes care of itself. Or not. Now once that is done, I want to take my feather, and I want to take and trim my feather so I'll be able to put it on and it'll wrap correctly and not pull out. So I'm going to just take and cut a little bit here. Now when I lay this in, I want to lay it with the hackles down. I'm going to take a couple of good wraps in the front, 1 wrap in the back, or 2. Now it's laying down at that angle. I'm just going to clean this up. The next thing we do is we're going to take and put on our dubbing. And you can see how nice and tight this is. So by that being tight like that, it's tight, very, very tight here at the bottom. So now I'm going to put some dubbing on. We're going to dub the thorax. And of course, it's the old adage that little is best, so we're going to not use too much here. I'm going to take and slide it up, and I'm just going to figure 8 this. Now we're ready to go ahead and take and put on wrap the hackle. Now when I wrap the hackle, I'm going to start in a low position and then move up with it and then come back down on itself. So I'm going to go up, then I'll start working my way back down. And I'm going to do it about 3 times. Okay, that looks to be good. Now I want to make sure and cut this off correctly, because the Lord knows I've cut off the wrong one several times. Now the last thing we need to do is just take and whip finish it. Okay, so now we're ready to take and cut the post, and when I cut the post, I want to figure out about how high do I want that post or the wing. So now when I cut this, you're going to see it's going to flare out and expand, so it comes apart. So now I'm just going to take and tease that and get it to work. And you can see what happened by it flaring out there. It has locked in, this is still nice and tight right here, and it's locked in the material and the hackle. So now all I have left to do is take and trim this to the desired height and angle that I want it, and we're finished with it. So you can see how simple that is, and the advantage of being able to take and tighten that up as far as the hackle so it doesn't move up or down on the post, and it makes it very simple. So that was what I wanted to show you today, and thank you very much.